14 Sierra Whiskey 007.
Bonjour, hello, and welcome to MaxMountainWorld. Today, another little radio thing. I've been waiting for some bits and pieces to come through the mail. It arrived this morning, so I'm going to set about repairing the President Lincoln radio. Now, I just want to say that this stuff that you saw in the intro there was all sent to me by a good friend of mine in Cornwall in England. Absolutely insisted on sending it after my video, which I'll put a connection up there or up there. It'll come out somewhere. And I put up this video on my technical issues and stuff. This guy got in touch with me, insisted on this, and insisted on not taking a penny or a cent for it, whatever. It's just arrived today, and I am so eternally thankful. You know who you are. Thanks very, very much. Very touched for that. And subsequently I've had a couple of calls with the guy and stuff. Been kind of chasing it up, but the mail and stuff, deliveries between UK and here is a bit slower than usual, but eventually it has arrived and I'm happy. So I'm going to just do a little video on the President Lincoln and what I'm doing to it. So here's the Lincoln here. Everything's working fine except there's no lighting on the dash behind the readout there. So what I've done in preparation is, because I wanted to find out what was I took the original out. I'm clicking, have I got this right? Yeah. Which it just literally slides out. Now it leaves two wires here, and what I did was I cut them and finished them ready for soldering. Much better that than trying to find out where they go in the board and there, and you know, just all that stuff could potentially be a nightmare. If I try soldering on a board I can damage something. It's more stuff to take apart. So what I can do with this is I can just solder the next lights, whatever, onto these wires and seal them up. So here's what I got sent to me. That's the one out of the radio that's kaput. So he sent 4 of these, and they're on pretty long wires, pretty heavy wires, so I'm going to check them out. He's brought me, or given me, some little LED lights and some incandescent lights and some resistors should I wish to reduce the voltage or whatever, and some seal as well that you put around your solder joints. So that it's the shrink wrap seal stuff. I probably won't be using them because I'll be using just simple masking tape. It's much easier to label stuff up, and if there's a future visit in. If that's been the weak point of my President Lincoln after 26 years, I think next time in it's going to be a lot easier to go back in and not take off shrink wrap and stuff. I can make sure it's made safe, less likely to have any problems with heat or whatever. So here I'm going to take these and just do some measurements, measure the resistances and measure what voltages they work at. Resistance is not quite so important, that's more for protecting the radio, but I want to just find out how these are going to work with the voltages that I've taken from those 2 bare wires that I explained in the radio. So having played around with various of these, I've managed to get these sitting, 2 of them, quite nice, wired up in parallel, so they'll take the same voltage that they're used to. Just gonna put a bit of wax on it. That'll help keep everything in place. One little top tip that I've had of someone was take some fine sandpaper and just sandpaper the ends of these and the glass on them to become opaque, and it gives a much better effect with the radio, and I actually have found this. Okay, so I was going to do a detailed thing as I did this, but it turned out a bit more complicated with testing LEDs for voltages, for resistance, testing the stuff in here, making sure I'm not blowing up stuff in the radio circuitry for the lighting or whatever. And also I've blown up a couple of LEDs just trial and error things with batteries and whatnot. So anyway, what we've ended up here is the two connections here. You can see them in blue, shrink wrap. I've got the orange one is the live, so that any future reference I can come back in and see that. Always using a bit of extra wire just in case, so it's all looped around, cable tied in, and in the back here I've got the two LEDs in there sitting actually in behind the display, and it's all fixed in place and held in place with a bit of wax. I've left it running for about 20 minutes and there's no heat off it or anything, so the wax is going to do the job. Now I know this isn't perfect, but the objective's achieved in that, hey, it lights up. Now they're not blue LEDs, they're white LEDs, but it seems to give the sort of blue effect. It was always an orange effect before, and all is working well. So objective achieved, get it back together again, get it installed in the car. Just check out the finished product. And I've moved the Lincoln as well. The Lincoln used to be sitting here, but I was finding that carrying about the mounting poles for the Moxon antenna was kind of hitting it and annoying and all the rest of it, and if I was carrying passengers they were just kind of knocking legs and against it, all sorts of stuff. So I've moved it over to the left here. I've kind of, my leg kind of rests naturally against it. It's quite comfortable actually, and just behind it, I don't know if this is visible, not really, but I do have a little speaker mounted in behind there. Now just while I'm at it here as well, this is going to be difficult to do, but on the dash here, that's my mount for the Fox Tango 891 Yaesu radio, which it's not really damaged anything too much in the car here. It's not covering anything. I do from time to time switch that off if I'm filming with a camera on the passenger side, but it's dead easy to get to, and the radio actually sits nice on it. So all I need to do is, on the back of the radio there's the little threaded part, so I just line that up and spin that round. Now again, three-handed operation. I take my music stick out, I drop the radio, I try it again. Right, okay, let's take two. And so again, it's difficult to get the first thread on one finger. There we go. Right, so basically that just spins around and mounts up nice, and it doesn't move once it's in there. Once I've done, then it's just a case of putting back my music stick back into the stereo. And the box itself, I've got the extension wires. The box itself goes down the floor here, all the power wires, sound cable, everything all sitting in there, and all it needs then is to be plugged into the Moxon antenna when I go out in the wild. Taking it off, really, that's nothing. It's a blank anyway, so no problem on that one. And the radio itself, if I can get away from this light thing, create a bit it works, even if it is upside down. So it doesn't seem too clear on the camera, but I'll assure you it's beautifully clear here. There we go. And that's my view from my driving position, and everything close to hand. It's a much better position for it. Tested the SWR with the mag mount on the roof, and all is good. The question might arise, the security of things, you know, leaving an HF radio permanently installed in the car. Is it a temptation to be broken into? And the solution to that is no and no. First reason why is I permanently park my cars in secure parking. So end of on that front. The other thing as well is I've got an old, well not so old, but it's a top that I never use, and basically just leave it scattered, like, you know, just got out of the car and I didn't need my jacket sort of thing, and it's out of sight, out of mind. So further to my videos on technical issues and stuff, that's everything sorted. I'm so happy. the car with its head gasket. The engine's been repaired. Yes, it was expensive, but look at the video. And again, top right of your screen, I'll put in a little link to the video that explains what happened with that in the end. And now I've got the permanent radio, the Lincoln that runs off the mag mount. Mag mount is on a bayonet mount, so I can take it off and fit the aerial in the garage. It kind of bangs off things and breaks lights and things. So I've got that. I've got the temporary setup with the Moxon antenna in the back. Again, look back at some of my videos and stuff and you'll see exactly what I've been doing with all that. But it's all ready to go now. So happy out. And the last stage of that, the President Lincoln repair with the light and stuff, thanks very much to you know who you are for your support on that one. Just unbelievable. I'm touched to my heart. Fantastic. So anyway, that's the video on that one. Technical issues solved. I touch wood. And that's it. So thanks very much for watching, and remember, subscribe down there. When you have done, click on the alert bell for notifications of further uploads from Max Mountain World. And until the next video, again, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for your participation. Ciao. Remember, think safe, be safe.